All right. Good morning, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, I am Associate Professor Goh Khim Yong. And this morning, I'm very excited here to be sharing with you some degrees program information about our School of Computing's various undergraduate degree programs. All right. So I'll be giving the presentation as we go along. And when you have any questions, I would suggest that you can type in the questions into the Q&A panel. All right. So if you see any questions that you would like to be answered at the end of this session, please feel free to type in, or if you see similar questions that you would like to be answered, please upvote them and I will answer the questions at the end of this session, depending on the ranks of the questions that are upvoted. All right, so without further ado, let me just commence. All right, so there will be three parts to this morning's talk. First of all, I will try to convince you why you should take on an undergraduate computing education. Okay, and secondly, I will give you a quick introduction on what are some of our degree offerings in our NUS School of Computing. And lastly, should you decide to do undergraduate degree education in computing, okay, I will try to convince you why you should come to NUS. All right, first of all, some of you may be wondering, what is computing education all about? Is it just about computer programming? Well, the answer couldn't be more wrong. First of all, I would say that computing education is an all-access pass to enable you to get a job, to do enjoyable work, impactful work across a variety of industry sectors, including what you see on screen now, which could be happening or disrupting the grocery shopping industry that you see on screen. So as an example, I would try to kind of motivate this by using what I call as an advanced shopping technology. Some of you who have been to the US, for example, might have gone on to see what you call as Amazon Go stores. All right, in the Amazon Go stores, as you see on the screen, when a consumer walks into the store, when you pick up something on the shelves, for example, there'll be computer vision enabled cameras that track what exactly you have picked up. And there'll be weight sensors also on the shelf to kind of try to detect that which of the items have been kind of picked up. And if a particular item on the shelf has run out, say for example, the smart inventory management system would be automatically triggered to inform the storekeepers, for example, to replenish the items on the shelves. And lastly, once you're done with your shopping, you can just walk out of the store without needing to queue up in the store. In fact, you would not even see any point of sale terminals. There would not be any cashiers that you see typically in Shun Song or in NTUC Fair Price, for example, and how this advanced shopping technology enabled. All right, so the point is the computer scientists, the information systems professionals, for example, would be programming with various mobile apps to enable shoppers to come to this sort of Amazon Go stores that has this kind of advanced shopping technology. There'll be sensors in the stores that sense what exactly you have picked up from the shelves. And of course, at the back end, there'll be data centers that track what exactly are the items that have been bought, what exactly are the items that need to be replenished, for example. And of course, you have your backbone network infrastructure to enable data transfers within the store and outside of the stores. And there will be also satellites, for example, tracking your trucks delivering the food items to the store. And at the government level, they will have to decide, say, for example, some of the data privacy policies. You have your suppliers delivering your items to the stores, and of course, your banks that enable payment options. And how are all these entities kind of tied up? Well, computing is the glue that provides the enable technology that ties up all these entities in order to kind of power the advanced shopping technologies that I've just shown you. All right, so as you can see, computing is not just computer programming. In fact, it is much more. It is the enabling technology that powers all the front end part, all the way to the back end items that you have seen on screen. It's just like mechanical engineering is not just about moving gears. All right, and astronomy is not just about using telescopes. All right, second, how well paid you are. How do you know you're in demand? All right, so as you can see on this slide, The story here today is, of course, not about computing salaries being high anymore. In fact, it is the highest. Okay, I can tell you in terms of mean salary across the entire NUS. Okay, in fact, our mean salary for our last year's computing graduates is even higher than that of the doctors and the lawyers. So this is not kind of interesting news anymore. All right. So what is more interesting, as you can see on screen, is that should you choose to come to NUS Computing to do a computing undergraduate education. Okay, I'm glad to tell you that NUS Computing graduates, in fact, command higher starting salaries compared to graduates in other similar programs in Singapore. All right, say for example, for the computer science graduates, on average, they're getting roughly about $5,700 per month in salary. Likewise, for information systems graduates, roughly around 4,700. And for business analytics graduates, roughly about 5,100. And for computer engineering grads, close to $5,000. And lastly, for our information security graduates, it's roughly around 4,700. All right, so some of you, of course, may be wondering, the mean salaries may be skewed. All right, so that's why I'm showing you the median salaries. And in relation to that, I'm glad to tell you that the computer science graduates, they are hired by well-known, of course, big MNCs, as you can see on the screen, Google, Facebook, ByteDance. ByteDance, some of you may know, of course, is the company that developed TikTok. All right, so some of you, of course, may be using some of these apps. And who are the recruiters of our information systems grads? In fact, Shopee, I'm sure many of you would have bought items from the e-commerce platform Shopee. PayPal, that enables a lot of the payment technological options. And Amazon Web Services. All right, and third, business analytics graduates who are the recruiters of our business analytics graduates. I can tell you that big companies such as Amazon, I'm sure Amazon is so well known that everybody probably should know, and McKinsey and Company. So this one may not be that familiar. McKinsey and Company is one of the top consulting companies in the world, and Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is, of course, the biggest investment banking company in the world. All right, and what about our computer engineering grads? They are hired as fabrication engineers, for example, by AMD, Visa, and of course, Grab. And lastly, our information security graduates. All right, so they work in Apple, for example. They are hired by the SDA, and they are also hired by our local, well-known startup C Holdings, who is, or rather, which is the holding company for Shopee and Garena group of companies. And third, of course, sometimes it's not just about money. Job satisfaction is equally important. All right. So according to some surveys that's been conducted by Glassdoor, for example, the IT companies that you see on screen, such as Google, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, they are some of the best companies that graduates can work in, and they have reported the highest job satisfaction. And why is this so? I guess the next slide is pretty much self-explanatory. In fact, if you go to work, some of these offices just look like playground. You work hard, you also play hard. All right, so that's probably what you will kind of expect in pursuing a career in some of these tech companies. And importantly, also, you'll be making a big impact in the world. All right, so you have the opportunities to develop various software solutions, hardware solutions that can potentially change the world, just like what Steve Jobs have done with iPhone, with the Apple App Store, for example. All right, so hopefully I've convinced you that undertaking undergraduate degree education is in computing, all right, is the right choice. And in fact, it provides all access pass, for you to kind of do engaging, world-changing, impact-changing work in various industries, be it in the entertainment industry, be it in the healthcare industry, for example, or even in the automotive industry, such as Tesla, which some of you may have recently known. And many of our degree programs actually train our graduates in various aspects that I've kind of mentioned, that powers various kind of technologies, such as the advanced shopping technologies, which I have kind of mentioned earlier, using the example of Amazon Go. All right, so this slide essentially shows you some of the components that goes to kind of developing various IT solutions in various domains, for example. So you can kind of look at the top left corner, starting from the hardware side of things. In order to have any IT solutions, of course, you need to have IT machines, you need the chips, all right, and chips, if you can have ROM programmable chips, okay, those are essentially called firmware. And of course, we have our software engineers developing software, okay, developing various platforms, and also various types of mobile apps that you see here. And this is, of course, I'm sure you know what it is. This is WhatsApp. Okay, and who are the target users, okay, of these apps? So these users could be in the organizations, right? And at the end of the day, organizations and users generate lots of data. So this is the typical kind of span, okay, of the elements that goes into an IT solution, okay, in any organizations that commonly seen in various industries. And how do our degree programs map, okay, to providing you educational opportunities across learning concepts or skills across these elements of IT? All right, so as you can see, our computer engineering degree essentially kind of spans the areas of hardware, firmware, and platforms in terms of the various skills, okay, and knowledge taught. Okay, and second, if you look at the computer science degree offerings, okay, they essentially cover the software side of things, all right, teaching you how to develop software, okay, how to develop platforms, okay, and of course, how to develop various types of apps. Okay, what about our information systems degree offering? Okay, the information systems degree offering essentially teaches concepts that enable kind of enterprise level key solutions, okay, that can enable users, okay, in organizations to be able to kind of use or develop different types of systems. And of course, our business analytics degree program, okay, would be one that teaches you the various data science, data analytics, okay, solutions, and engineering solutions, okay, that enables, okay, a better use of the various insights that's generated from data. And lastly, the information systems degree, okay, essentially covers all the various security aspects, okay, that covers starting from the hardware to software and to even all the way to the network side of things. All right, so this is at one glance, okay, what our 5 degree offerings in the NUS School of Computing, okay, would be covering. Okay, so this slide essentially shows you, as I mentioned, the 5 degree programs. Okay, so firstly, starting with computer engineering, okay, second, computer science degree, okay, third, information systems degree, and fourth, business analytics, and lastly, the fifth one on information security. So all these 5 degree programs, okay, in the first year, okay, when you come on as a School of Computing student, okay, there will be core modules that essentially that's common across the various modules that you will be taking in your first year. Okay, and then in your subsequent years, especially in your 3rd to 4th years, okay, you'll be able to specialize in various focus areas or specializations, some of which, okay, the examples that you can see on screen. All right, so in the next couple of slides, I'll be going into some detail to give you a quick overview of some of the degree offerings that you can see. All right, so what is our computer engineering degree, okay, all about? All right, so at the high level, okay, the computer engineering, okay, trains graduates to solve real-world problems, okay, with hardware and software. All right, so this would cover, let's say, concepts in building electronic parts, okay, in controlling small devices, okay, such as drones, okay, which is very common, okay, these days, and how to create new hardware device and kind of use them as various gadgets to kind of invent various types of this sort of devices and gadgets, okay, to say, for example, to help the disadvantaged people, the handicapped people. Okay, in terms of the specialization of focus areas, okay, you will have the opportunity to learn about, okay, IoT, okay, which is of course the short for Internet of Things. Okay, you'll be able to specialize in topics related to robotics. Okay, in terms of focus areas, you will cover various focus areas such as embedded computing, large-scale computing, system on chip, and so on. All right, so what about upon graduation? What kind of full-time job roles can you take on? So as you can see on this slide, okay, so this is real-world data, okay, that I've kind of grabbed from last year's results of the MOE, the Ministry of Education, okay, Graduate Employment Survey. So based on last year's results, okay, you can see that essentially from this word cloud. So if you know what a word cloud is, the size of the phrases that you see correspond to the extent or the frequency of the job roles that our graduates have taken on upon graduation. So the most common job role or task is really the software developer or engineer. Some other common job roles that our graduates in computer engineering have taken on include IT security specialist, for example, and IT systems programmer. All right, so I'll move on to the computer science degree program. So what is the computer science degree program about? So in short, it really helps to train and to impart various skills that solves real world problems with software and algorithms. All right, so the focus is on the software and on the algorithm side of things. All right, so as a computer science student, you'll be able to learn various software engineering principles in various practices in terms of the solutions, in terms of the algorithms, and lastly, in terms of human-computer design considerations that enable the programming and designs of various mobile apps, software solutions, and so on. All right, so as a CS student, you'll be able to focus on up to 10 different areas. All right, as you can see, some of the popular ones, as you might expect, might be artificial intelligence. If you're interested in computer graphics and games, to design games, you can take on that particular focus area. You can also specialize in parallel computing, programming languages, and so on. Again, upon graduation, no surprise, most of our computer science students will go on to be software developers or engineers in various companies. Some also become IT security specialists. They become application developers, and some also take on job roles as artificial intelligence engineers. What about our information systems program? So at the high level, the IS degree programs aims to teach and impart skills that solves business problems with infocom technologies. All right, so this is really about trying to kind of teach students to analyze various types of large scale and small scale business problems. Once the analysis of the user requirements is done, you'll be learning, let's say, for example, how to draw up large-scale enterprise information or data architectures. And once that is done also, the last stage, of course, is in terms of the actual implementations of all the various component systems. As an information system or IS student, you will have the opportunity to specialize in 3 particular hot areas. One of which is, of course, fintech. All right, so fintech is one of the hottest area in the industry these days. If you are interested to become a startup entrepreneur, you can specialize in the digital innovation specialization. And lastly, you can also specialize in the e-commerce specialization as an information system student. All right, so what kind of job roles can you take on as an information systems graduate? All right, so as you can see on this word cloud, many of our IS or information systems graduates also become software developers in various companies. Some would also take on job roles of systems designers or analysts. And many of them actually also become financial analysts in the various big banks and financial institutions in Singapore, such as GIC, the Government Investment Corps of Singapore. All right, so let me move on to talk a bit about the business analytics degree program. So the business analytics degree programs aims to teach students how to solve various types of business problems using data, using models, and various types of software tools. All right, so this is really a multidisciplinary degree program that combines knowledge and skill sets from computing in the business areas, as well as in the humanities, such as economics, and of course, importantly, in statistics, as you can see on screen. So a lot of the knowledge you learn would be cutting across all these various disciplines in order to have a strong, rigorous understanding of the particular business problem that a business analytics student is supposed to address. Once you have a good understanding of the business problem, then as a business analyst, you can go ahead to collect the suitable relevant kinds of data okay, either from within companies or outside, okay, your company. Okay, once the data is collected, okay, you will learn how to kind of model, okay, various types of business outcomes that you are interested in, okay, by using various data mining models, machine learning models, statistical models, which we will teach you in the business analytics degree. Okay, and lastly, it's not solely about, okay, analyzing, okay, or estimating models. Okay, importantly, at the operational level, okay, the business analytics degree program also teaches you how to develop, okay, scalable, okay, IT systems, okay, that you can do real-time analysis of various data sets. Okay, as a business analytics student, you will have the opportunity to specialize in the financial analytics area, okay, as well as the marketing analytics area. So these are the two big, okay, application areas that uses a lot of data science, okay, and analytics techniques in the industry these days. All right, so what type of job roles can business analytics students, okay, take on after graduation? Okay, again, as you can see from the word cloud, okay, based on last year's data, no surprise, okay, a lot of our BA or business analytics students, they become data scientists, okay, in various companies. Okay, some also, okay, have the skill sets, okay, to become software developers and engineers. Okay, and some, okay, would take on slightly more conventional roles, okay, such as statistical officers or data analysts, okay, in various government agencies or private companies. All right, and lastly, I will cover, okay, the degree program on information security. All right, so the information security degree program, okay, aims to teach students, okay, how to solve systems, applications, and network security problems, okay, in this particular degree program. So you will learn, okay, the various foundations in computing, for example. Okay, you will also be, okay, learning various concepts, okay, techniques, okay, with regard to, okay, attacks, okay, with regards to defense, and also, of course, okay, if in case there are any threats, okay, or attacks that have happened, okay, on the forensic analysis part of things. All right, so it's not just about technical case side of things. Okay, you will also learn as an information security student the various policies, okay, the various legal, okay, aspects of risk management, for example. All right, so you will have the opportunity not only to kind of learn about various types of technical elements, okay, relating to network, web, and software security. Okay, learning the organization side of the focus, okay, and the skill sets in terms of security auditing, okay, the various laws, okay, the legal policies in various countries is also kind of equally important, okay, and will receive equal emphasis in this particular degree offering. All right, in terms of the job roles, okay, most of our information security students, okay, they would take on job roles as IT security specialists. Okay, some of them also become software developers or engineers. All right, so this is pretty common. All right, so in summary, as you can see here, what I've presented, you know, most of our graduates, okay, and regardless of what type of degree programs, okay, they can specialize across either CS, IS, business analytics, information security, or computer engineering. All right, so a lot of them actually still have the skill sets to become software developers, engineers, okay, systems analysts, okay, and information architects, for example, in various companies. All right, so this is just a very quick, okay, introduction, okay, to the 5 degree programs. Okay, of course, I will not have the time, okay, to cover all the details. Should you want to know more, okay, about what each of the degree offerings, okay, would offer you in terms of the knowledge and concepts that you learn, okay, I would strongly suggest that you check out our NUS School of Computing YouTube channel. All right, so as you can see on the right hand side here, we actually have 5 individual, okay, different, okay, short clips, okay, on YouTube, okay, that's explaining, okay, what each of the degree offerings, okay, entails. And some of our professors, like Professor Terence Sim, okay, will be kind of explaining to you also why you should, okay, choose, okay, computing as an undergraduate degree education. All right, so, and some of my colleagues like, okay, Professor Colin Tan, okay, he will explain to you what exactly computer science education is all about. All right, so I suggest, as I mentioned, okay, go check out some of these movie clips, okay, video clips on YouTube. Should you have any questions, okay, I would suggest that you can kind of follow up with me on the chat on Zoom later. All right, so a burning question some of you might have. Do I need any coding or programming experience? Okay, my short answer is definitely no. All right, so you do not need any prior coding or programming experience. All right, so in fact, all our students start off with a clean slate, not only right from the first semester. In fact, okay, we conduct coding classes even before the semester starts, okay, for some of the students who want to have a head start, okay, in terms of learning some of the coding skills, either in Python, for example, or some other programming languages. All right, so should you be accepted into the NUS School of Computing, we conduct coding classes sometimes in June and July. Okay, should you be interested to even start with us? Okay, I can assure you that at the end of the first year, okay, regardless of whether you have programming experience or coding experience from your A-level days or from your polytechnic days, I can assure you everyone in your cohort, at the end of the first 2 semesters of the training with us, everybody would pretty much have an equal kind of proficiency in programming or in coding. All right, the second burning question, what is the indicative grade profile? All right, so the short answer, if you have Google, IGP, short for indicative grade profile for NUS computing degree programs. All right, so you will see that in fact, the indicative 10 percentile and the 90th percentile is all straight A's. All right, so my message is you don't need to worry too much about the indicative grade profiles, because we do reserve roughly about 10 to 15% of the admission slots to students who are really passionate in certain skills. And we admit students through what we call the aptitude-based admissions or the discretionary interview admissions. All right, should your admission scores be very close to the cutoff points, you have the opportunity to appeal to our Office of Admissions to get interviews with us, the professors. All right, so during this time, of course, during such interviews, you are welcome to kind of state your various passions and tell us exactly, let's say, for example, you have won certain competitions in various IT competitions during your school days. We will be more than happy to acknowledge those and admit you to our NUS School of Computing. All right, so that's basically what I want to cover on the degree programs. The third part of this morning's talk, I want to kind of try to convince you that, let's say, for example, should you have decided to do a computing education, why you should in fact choose NUS. All right, the first key point or justification or reason is, of course, we are highly ranked. All right, we are very reputable in the international community. In fact, we are the top Asian university for computing, and this includes not only research and, of course, and education in computing areas. All right, in fact, if you look at the QS World Ranking, we are ranked 12th in the world, again, top in Asia. If you look to the Times Higher Education World University Rankings in the area of computer science, we are ranked 8th in the world. And again, by this ranking, we are also the top Asian university for computing research and education. All right, so what about the demand of our graduates? And no surprise, if I've shown you just now the salary numbers from last year's MOE graduate employment survey, our graduates are very much well in demand. And this also translates to the demand for interns. All right, as you can see on the slide here, many companies can come to our school to recruit interns. I'm glad to also tell you that we actually work with roughly 900 plus companies to offer internship positions to our students by working with these various companies that you see on my slide here. All right, so in terms of internship requirements, all our School of Computing students have to undergo a minimum of 6 months of internship. Either they can go through 2 stints of 3 months internship, or they could go ahead to just do 1 stint of 6 months internship. And we are also glad to also offer what we call the cooperative education program. So this is a relatively new work study program that's being offered to business analytics students and as well as information security students in this particular 2 degree programs. All right, so beyond kind of learning from the classrooms in NUS, we also strongly encourage our students to head overseas, all right, to head overseas through learning in the student exchange program. So we work with, at the university level, we work with hundreds plus, I think, to this day, roughly around 200 overseas universities, okay, to kind of enable our students to head over to exchange programs. All right, so of course, we hope that the COVID situation would kind of be resolved soon, okay, so that when you come on board to join us in the NUS School of Computing, you can still carry on to participate in our student exchange programs. And okay, importantly, okay, as you can see on my slide, what I want to tell you is the NOC, okay, short for NUS Overseas College Program. All right, so some of you may know that the NOC program is one of the earliest program in the whole of Singapore that kind of teach entrepreneurship skills. All right, so as you can see on screen, the NUS actually have roughly 10 to 12 overseas campuses, okay, that host the NOC program. And for the particular one in Silicon Valley, okay, there's a huge extent of the demand for computing students, okay, from the startups there. All right, so if you join the NOC program, for example, and in the daytime, okay, you'll be working in the various startup companies in the San Francisco Bay Area, okay, or in the Palo Alto Bay Area. Okay, and at night, okay, you have the chance to take classes. Okay, in fact, in Stanford University, okay, various classes in technopreneurship, okay, in coding, for example. All right, so this is a very popular program, okay, that's being kind of highly sought after by our computing students. Okay, and in fact, many of our NOC graduates have come back to start companies. Okay, I'm sure you have heard of the app Carousel. Okay, in fact, I'm sure many of you are using Carousel. Carousel was actually started by Louis Mu, who is, okay, our NOC graduate and also an alumni of our NUS School of Computing. All right, so beyond what I've told you, okay, if you're feeling a bit ambitious, of course, you can also take on double degree programs. Okay, we work with various faculties, okay, such as the Faculty of Science, to offer double degree programs, okay, in Bachelor of Computing as well as in Applied Math, for example. Okay, we work with the Faculty of Business, okay, to offer double degree programs in computing as well as business administration, okay, and accountancy. Okay, we also work with the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences to offer double degree programs in Bachelor of Computing in IS, Information Systems, as well as in Economics. All right, so these are just some of the examples of the options in double degree programs. If you're interested in this, again, I would suggest that you check out, okay, the other types of double degree programs, okay, that you can also self-design. Okay, so check out the details on our website. All right, so beyond the double degree programs, also we have various types of double major programs, okay, which I've not listed on the slide here. So you are again welcome to check that out, okay, on our website. All right, so I've covered essentially all the academic side of the things that I want to cover. All right, so of course, it's not all hard work. Okay, I also want to kind of emphasize that it's also, we have a great student life, and student life starts with orientation. All right, so should you be admitted to the NUS School of Computing, the fun all starts, okay, in July or June. All right, starting with the freshman orientation projects. All right, so our NUS Students Computing Club, okay, they have planned for various, let's say, freshman social camps, freshman orientation camps, orientation weeks, rag and flag, and social nights, okay, sometime in June and July. Should you be interested in this, I would suggest that you check out, okay, the website or just scan the QR code that you can see on screen. Okay, and more details, okay, would be released on our website, okay, once the details are firmed up. All right, and lastly, okay, don't forget, okay, to apply to the NUS School of Computing, okay, in the various 5 degree programs that you see on screen, okay, either in business analytics, computer engineering, computer science, information security, or information systems. Okay, again, the deadline is the 19th of March. All right, so please, okay, feel free to ask us any questions. If should you have any other questions on this 5 degree programs, okay, we'll be here, okay, the entire day to help answer the questions that you might have. All right, so that's all. Thank you very much. Okay, that's all I want to share with you this morning. Okay, so please feel free to enter any questions that you might have, okay, in Zoom, okay, in the Q&A panel, All right, so if not, okay, even after today, okay, do get in touch with us. Should you still have any questions on these various channels that you see on this screen, email us directly at socug@com.nus.edu.sg. Of course, you can also check out our website. Okay. We are also on the various social media platforms, okay, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, Instagram. Okay, so thank you very much. That's all I have this morning. I believe I have roughly about 10 minutes, okay, of time, which I hope, okay, to be able to answer some of the questions that you might have. So without further ado, I'll go on, okay, to answer some of these questions that I see on screen. All right, so let me just start quickly. So I have this question. Some anonymous attendee says that I'm interested in both the IS and BSAC-A, the Business Analytics degree program. What are the main differences between these two programs, and what kind of student will enjoy IS and BSAC-A respectively? All right, so there's a huge amount of differences between these two degree programs. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, the IS degree program aims to kind of teach you how to solve business problems using various types of technologies. So you will learn the various skill sets to develop enterprise level, okay, IT solutions. Okay, on the other hand, okay, the business analytics students is really about learning how to use data, okay, how to you kind of develop models and estimate models, okay, in order to kind of optimize various types of business decisions. All right, so the focus is completely different. All right, so if you are someone who enjoys more, okay, slightly on the coding side, okay, in terms of developing, let's say, various types of IT solutions, then perhaps the IS degree program is one for you. If you are the type that enjoys fiddling with data, running kind of statistical analysis, okay, trying to get data insights, perhaps okay, the business analytics degree program, okay, would be one that you might be interested in. All right, so let me go on to the next question. All right, may I ask, for the business analytics course, what kinds of career prospects can students expect, okay, specifically in the finance industry? So I believe I've actually kind of answered during my presentation. Okay, many of our students actually joined the finance industry. Okay, some of them have joined PayPal, for example. All right, so PayPal is a payments kind of solutions company. Okay, they also have various solutions that deal with cryptocurrency. So if you know cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, I'm sure these are hot buzzwords these days. All right, so they have joined companies like PayPal as software developers, software engineers. So these are just some examples, okay, of the kinds of job business analytics graduates can take on after graduations. Okay, some of them also have joined the more traditional financial institutions such as Goldman Sachs, okay, such as Merrill Lynch, okay, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, to be financial analysts. All right, so this is my answers for that question. Let me quickly go on. Okay, what is the cohort number for the number of students in the IS degree program? All right, so I believe in the most recent year, we roughly have 120 to 150 students, okay, in the IS degree program. All right, so next question. Okay, may I know if double major for computer science and business is offered? And if someone in DDP in computer science and business wants to downgrade, can he or she downgrade to double major, or must he drop a degree? All right, so for double degree in computer science and business, okay, definitely I believe this is offered. Okay, I also believe there is also a double major option in computer science and business. All right, should you downgrade? Okay, definitely you can downgrade. Okay, you can. Okay, the good news is also you can upgrade. All right, so you do not really need to apply to the double degree program at this particular admission season. All right, so should you decide to do a double degree program, okay, in the first year, okay, or even in subsequent years, you can still apply, okay, as long as your results are good. Okay, we will still admit you to the double degree programs. Okay, so in short, the downgrade and upgrade options are both available. All right, next question. Is there any difference between computer engineering in this school and the ECE in the School of Engineering? Yes, I believe there is. All right. So the computer engineering degree program in our School of Computing teaches a lot more on the computer concepts relating to, let's say, operating systems, the hardware side of computer hardware. All right. So the ECE covers more general electrical engineering, I believe, without so much of emphasis on the computer machine side of the learning and the teaching. All right, so if I'm interested in developing apps and games, but want to major in BME, I'm not too sure what is BME. Is it biomedical engineering? Can I take up a minor in computer science? I believe the answer is yes, you can take up a minor in computer science, even though you may want to major in biomedical engineering. All right, next question. The whole computing sector is in demand right now, but in a few years, would the trend still be the same? All right, in short, I believe so, definitely. So the whole world has been completely changed, all right, during this COVID season. If you notice what has been kind of enabling the whole world's economy to be chugging along is in fact all the IT enabled kind of powered solutions. Things like what I'm using right now, Zoom. Zoom, I'm sure, has kind of enabled a lot of the educational kind of opportunities and teachings to still go on, even in this midst of the COVID pandemic. And likewise, after this, I believe a lot of the industries, such as the electric vehicle industry, is going to be drastically disrupted, by some of these companies, such as Tesla. How do we rest assured that the starting pay stats will apply to us? All right, so this is, of course, I cannot guarantee. So this is will still apply to you in 4 or 5 years' time. All right, so this is pretty much common sense in the sense that if you have studied Economics 101, this is a question of demand and supply matching. All right, but rest assured, I believe the trend in the increasing salary for computing professionals will still be on upwards increasing trend. Okay, can I take a double major and still specialize? All right, the quick answer is yes. All right, are there any students that take up only one focus areas of the computer science program, or multiple areas can be taken? Yes, I believe you can take up one area, or you can also take up multiple focus areas should you be able to handle the workload. Okay, once in NUS, is it possible to transfer from computer engineering to computer science? All right, the short answer, I believe, is yes, as long as your kind of UAS score is from the computer engineering side. It matches that of the computer science and cutoff points. All right, so as long as your cutoff points matches your target destination degree program, you're allowed to switch. All right, so one last question that I will take on: are all the degree under the School of Computing Bachelor of Science except computer engineering? All right, the short answer is no. Most of our computing degree programs are Bachelor of Computing, except the computer engineering, which is a Bachelor of Engineering, and also the Business Analytics degree program, which is actually a Bachelor of Science in Business Analytics. And all these degrees have direct honors. All right, so it's all 4-year direct honors program. All right, so I believe this is all the time I have. Okay, I'm sorry that I can't answer all this. I still have a lot of questions on screen. Okay, so thank you very much for your interest. Okay, so if I did not manage to answer all these questions that you may have, may I suggest that you can type in some of the questions. You can follow up with some of this question on the Discord chat channel. All right, so if not, we also have the Ask Me Anything sessions for the rest of the day. My colleagues, Prof Terence Tim, Prof Colin Tan, and Prof Anand Ramchan, will be able to answer you live for the entire 45 minutes during the sessions. All right, so again, thank you very much for this morning's time with me during this session. All right, I hope you found this session useful. So I hope again to see you to join in for the rest of the sessions that we have planned for you in the various AMA sessions. At 11 o'clock, I believe we have our alumni, Sarah, who's actually based in okay, US right now. So she will come on, okay, as a computer science alumni to tell you, okay, her experience in our CS degree program and what she is actually doing, okay, as a software engineer, okay, in, okay, a company that's based in the US. I believe is in Seattle right now. Okay, so that's all that I have for you this morning. All right, so thank you very much. I'll sign off from now. And okay, for my particular this session, I'll see you folks. I'll be back at 1 o'clock. So thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.